Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Diabetes Bytes. We are live every Thursday between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. This is a social media initiative from RSSDI. Welcome all of you. And we have none other than Dr. Banshi Saboo, our President RSSDI, who's instrumental for this program, for taking RSSDI to great heights. Now I have a good friend with me. That's Dr. Pratap Jethwani, who's a key KOL of RSSDI and an executive committee member. And I have two task force young people, Amit Gupta and Rakesh. Both of them are one of the people who are spearheading the campaign, Defeat Diabetes. That's our motto. And that's how we want to connect with you. We are almost to the fag end of our campaign, meaning we have another 15 days left. We have done a lot of things on the Defeat Diabetes campaign, thanks to the team led by Dr. Banshi Saboo. And what we intend to do in the next 15 days, we have a program on the 29th September trying to see, we need to get 1 million people tested on that day. Our campaign and our motto is treat, test, treat, and track. So we know a country like us, we have a lot of diabetic patients. Half of these patients remain undiagnosed. The people who are diagnosed are not treated to goal and they're not tracked. Our aim is to prevent these complications. First, to find out if people have diabetes. Please come forward. Test yourself if you don't have. It's a finger stick. We wanted to make it a fifth vital sign. And to take it further, I request Dr. Banshi Saboo to start where he started and where we are now to talk about the campaign. And then I would like to pose questions to my dear friend Pratap, Amit, and Rakesh on the same. Over to you, Dr. Banshi.
First of all, thank you, Dr. Sanjay Reddy. संजय, ये जो प्रोग्राम अपन डायबिटीज बाइट्स RSSDI फेसबुक लाइव पिछले 1 साल से या उससे भी ज्यादा समय से कर रहे हैं, हमारा पर्पस इस फेसबुक लाइव प्रोग्राम का उद्देश्य जो है कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों को डायबिटीज के बारे में अवेयर करें। और हमारी RSSDI जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, जिसके अंदर 9000 से ज्यादा डॉक्टर जो इसके मेंबर है, वो फिजिशियंस प्रैक्टिसिंग डायबिटीज कर रहे हैं, वो लोग इसके मेंबर हैं। हमको सबको पता है कि डायबिटीज हमारे देश में बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ रहा है। अवेयरनेस उसके कंपैरिजन में जितना हमारा परसेंटेज लोगों को डायबिटीज है, उसके परसेंटेज के हिसाब से अवेयरनेस काफी पुअर है और इसके कारण डायबिटीज के कॉम्प्लिकेशंस भी ज्यादा है और डायबिटीज का कंट्रोल भी पुअर है। हमने इस पूरे साल भर के अंदर मल्टीपल एपिसोड्स के अंदर कई एक्सपर्ट्स को बुलाया है और सोशल मीडिया के थ्रू हम लोगों को ज्यादा से ज्यादा अवेयर कर रहे हैं और डायबिटीज का अवेयरनेस इंक्रीज करने से ही डायबिटीज के कॉम्प्लिकेशन को हम रोक सकते हैं। ये जो डिफीट डायबिटीज कैंपेन जो अंडर RSSDI हमने 1 जुलाई को कैंपेन को इनॉग्रेट किया, चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ आवर कंट्री हु हैड इनॉग्रेटेड दिस कैंपेन, उसके लिए एक डेडिकेटेड टास्क फोर्स टीम बनाई गई, जिसमें से आज 2 टास्क फोर्स मेंबर डॉक्टर अमित और राकेश हमारे साथ में हैं, जो सबसे एक्टिव भी है इस टास्क फोर्स में। नॉर्थ इंडिया से डॉक्टर अमित गुप्ता, दिल्ली से डॉक्टर राकेश परीख जयपुर से बिलोंग करते हैं। दे विल टॉक मोर अबाउट दिस कैंपेन। ये कैंपेन हमारा RSSDI के लगभग सभी मेंबर्स अभी इसमें जुड़ चुके हैं। हमारे पास 5000 ज्यादा डॉक्टर्स इस प्रोग्राम को और IMA के डॉक्टर्स इसमें ज्यादा से ज्यादा जुड़ रहे हैं। डॉक्टर प्रताप जो गुजरात से हैं, राजकोट से हैं, गुजरात RSSDI चैप्टर का बहुत एक्टिव हिस्सा है इस पूरे कैंपेन में, और प्लस डॉक्टर प्रताप जेठवानी लाइक डॉक्टर संजय रेड्डी हमारे एग्जीक्यूटिव कमिटी मेंबर है RSSDI से। सो आज हम ज्यादा बात अमित से और राकेश से करेंगे कि इस कैंपेन को हमने कैसे इनिशिएट किया, क्या हम ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं पिछले 70 डेज में, कितने लोगों तक हम सोशल मीडिया के थ्रू पहुंच चुके हैं, क्या हमारा कैंपेन का उद्देश्य है और इस कैंपेन के द्वारा हम क्या अचीव कर रहे हैं और क्या कर पाएंगे, और आगे के दिनों में हमारे पिछले नेक्स्ट जो 20 दिन बचे हैं हमारे पास में या 25 दिन बचे हैं, उसमें हम और क्या क्या प्रोग्राम करने वाले हैं, क्या हम रेडियो कैंपेन कर रहे हैं, कितने डॉक्टरों को इन्वॉल्व कर रहे हैं, कितने डिफरेंट स्टेट चैप्टर को इन्वॉल्व कर रहे हैं, IMA कैसे इन्वॉल्व हो रहा है। तो हम उनसे ज़्यादा सवाल इसके बारे में पूछेंगे और समझेंगे कि और हम लोगों को ज़्यादा कैसे जोड़ सकें। लेकिन जो पर्पज है वो बहुत क्लियर है कि लोगों को ज्यादा से ज्यादा अवेयर किया जाए और डायबिटीज को कैसे रोका जाए, या जिनको डायबिटीज है उनको कॉम्प्लिकेशन रोका जाए। डिफीट डायबिटीज एक 100 डेज का कैंपेन है, लेकिन ये पूरा नहीं हो जाता। 100 डेज तक हम करके ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों को अवेयर करते हैं, लेकिन अवेयरनेस कैंपेन या एजुकेशन कैंपेन एक ऐसी चीज है जो लाइफ लॉन्ग कंटिन्यू करना है। हमारे देश में डायबिटीज का प्रमाण भी इतना ज्यादा है कि हम इसको 3 महीने के बाद में पूरा नहीं कर सकते। कैंपेन को पूरा कर सकते हैं, लेकिन ये अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम कम से कम चालू ही रहना चाहिए। दैट इज आवर पर्पस। वी नो वर्ल्ड डायबिटीज डे 14 नवंबर को आ रही है, तो उसके एग्जैक्ट 1 महीने बाद वर्ल्ड डायबिटीज डे है। हम इसका इम्पैक्ट देखेंगे कि कितना इम्पैक्ट है, कहाँ पर और क्या चीजें हैं जो गैप है जो हम कंटिन्यू कर सकें। मेरा कार्यकाल 14 नवंबर को वर्ल्ड डायबिटीज डे के साथ ही हमारी एनुअल कॉन्फ्रेंस है वो पूरी होगी, उसके साथ मेरा कार्यकाल शायद पूरा हो जाएगा। लेकिन फिर आरएसएसडीआई के नए प्रेसिडेंट के साथ में, नए टास्क फोर्स की टीम के साथ में और पूरे एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी के साथ में आगे इस कैंपेन को, या डिफीट डायबिटीज के तरह का कैंपेन जिसमें हम अवेयरनेस ज्यादा से ज्यादा बढ़ा सके। ये जो डायबिटीज बाइट्स हमने पूरे साल 1.5 साल से चालू कर रखी थी, उसमें और आगे क्या सुधार कर सकें ताकि ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों के ऊपर हम इसका इम्पैक्ट बना सकें। हमारा पर्पस है कि जैसे डॉक्टर्स को हम कंटिन्यूस मेडिकल एजुकेशन के द्वारा अवेयर करते हैं, सो टू इम्प्रूव द केयर फॉर डायबिटिक पेशेंट्स इन द सिमिलर वे थ्रू सोशल मीडिया हम ज्यादा से ज्यादा डायबिटिक के पेशेंट्स को या उनके केयर गिवर्स को या आम जनता को डायबिटीज के बारे में ज्यादा से ज्यादा पता चले और डायबिटीज को कैसे रोका जाए या डायबिटीज के कॉम्प्लिकेशंस को कैसे रोका जाए। हमारा आरएसएसडीआई का उद्देश्य है कि हमारा देश डायबिटीज कैपिटल बनना जा रहा है, लेकिन हम उसको डायबिटीज केयर कैपिटल बनाना चाहते हैं। हम चाहते हैं हमारे डायबिटीज पेशेंट्स को कॉम्प्लिकेशन फ्री लाइफ देने का हमारा पर्पज है, और जिनको डायबिटीज नहीं है उनको डायबिटीज कैसे रोकें वो हमारा पर्पज है। तो ये कैंपेन के बारे में ज्यादा बात हम करेंगे डॉक्टर राकेश और अमित से, और प्रताप जेठवानी उसमें बताएंगे कि कैसे हम आम आदमी को या और डॉक्टर को जोड़ रहे हैं। और गुजरात इसमें बहुत लगभग सारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोऑर्डिनेटर और सारे डॉक्टर हमारे एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी के जुड़े हुए हैं। तो गुजरात को जिससे हमने एकदम एक्टिवली इसमें पार्टिसिपेट कराया है, तो हम क्या और कर सकते हैं कि जिसमें हमारे और स्टेट इतने ही एक्टिवली जुड़े। प्रताप ने ऐसा क्या एक्स्ट्रा किया कि जो कर्नाटक में नहीं हो सका, जो आंध्रा में नहीं हो सका, जो तमिलनाडु में नहीं हो सका, उसके बारे में प्रताप बताएंगे। सो विद दीज फ्यू वर्ड्स वंस अगेन थैंक यू डॉक्टर संजय to moderate this session, and thank you all the social media team for actively doing this program on this particular campaign on defeat diabetes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bansi. You're going to be president for life. Don't tell you're going to end your tenure at some point of time. You're not going to. You're too young to do that. This is my heartfelt feelings for the same. So you've been instrumental in trying to. We have one of the oldest disorders in the world. Rather than calling it a disease, it's the oldest disorder in the world, but less talked about because it requires a lot of things. One, you need to test to know your diabetes, whether you have diabetes or not. If you have diabetes, it's a lifelong disorder. You are treating people with diabetes. We don't want to make them patients. For that to know if the people have diabetes, we need to test. And to do that, test, track, and treat was our motto. To know more about the program, as Dr. Bansi said, I would like to invite Dr. Rakesh, who's part of the initial Defeat Diabetes program, to take us the last 79 days, what we started on, which was inaugurated, as Dr. Bansi enumerated by our Chief Justice, what we did now. Then I will go to Amit to ask him what we are going to do from now on. As Dr. Bansi has been reiterating the fact, we're not going to stop at 100 days. This is our effort, and it will continue for a long time. Over to Dr. Rakesh to share his thoughts on what happened the last 79 days. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay Reddy. So, as Dr. Banshi said, he's the person who came out with this concept. Now, before going to what we have done in last few days under this campaign, I would like to give the audience a little brief about the origin of this concept. So I'm sure we are not forgotten the second wave of pandemic that hit us as the whole country, and all of us were too occupied with our patients. The blood sugars were haywire, and we were trying to manage those sugars through online consultations, through physical consultations. And despite all our efforts, if we look at the data, it is very disheartening. People who were not known to be diabetic but were diagnosed as diabetic for the first time during admission for COVID were found to be having around 4 to 6 times higher risk of getting hospitalized, having higher risk of severe infection, and even mortality. Patients who were diabetic but uncontrolled, they also had similar proportions, like the mortality, hospitalization, severity, everything was significantly higher compared to the other people. So we learned this hard lesson during this pandemic, specifically the second wave, that diabetes has been responsible for large number of deaths in our country during that pandemic. Now imagine if all those patients who were undiagnosed and were diagnosed to be diabetic for the first time when they were admitted with COVID, if they knew that they have diabetes and if they managed it well, then we could have saved a lot of lives. So that was a hard learned lesson. But immediately after the numbers settled down and we were worried about the third wave, Dr. Banshi Saboo formed a small group of people, and he just put up this idea that we urgently need to create awareness among public about the importance of finding out your sugar levels, finding out whether you are diabetic or not. And if you are diabetic, just taking medicines is not enough. You need to check your sugars, see the glycemic status. If those are uncontrolled, then you need to treat those. So, the first time when he broke the idea, which was something in the second week of June, Dr. Bansi said that I think we should aim at reaching 100 million people in 100 days. So that actually shocked all of us, because it was looking like a very Herculean task to reach out to so many people and educate them about diabetes. But then with his leadership and the team, our team is really a very hardworking team, specifically Amit. I don't know how he manages that, but Dr. Amit is always on defeat diabetes mode. So he is multitasking, doing so many things at one time. So we decided that we'll launch this campaign on 1st of July. The plan was chalked out that we'll first form a group of around 100 doctors who are energetic and who are devoted for the cause. And they should spend enough of time for this particular cause. So those were the diabetes ambassadors. We started with 100 people. We requested them all that they should all make a group of at least 100 people each, and those people should be doctors preferably. Otherwise, some people who are involved in paramedical work or socially active people, and people who are having influence on social media, so that we can pass on all the messages related to diabetes to the masses. And that is how we started, with a group of 100 ambassadors. Each ambassador made his own group. Some people made a group of 100 people, and others went beyond that. And now we have hundreds of groups of hundreds of members each. So every message that comes out from our head office, it passes on through WhatsApp to thousands of people. Now we have a team of a special team which is working on only creatives. So they make beautiful creatives in simple languages with a simple message for the masses. So that message is passed on through these WhatsApp groups on one side. Similarly, at the same time, that message is posted on different social media channels of RSSDI, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we all percolate those messages again to masses. Then the group of ambassadors is doing a daily activity, which is a live show daily by one doctor who is a diabetes specialist for general public, and they talk about basic concepts of diabetes. So these all activities are going on for last 75 days. Now, fortunately, with the efforts of all of us, all the members who are involved in this, we have been able to reach out to around 75 million people already. Uh, I think more than that. So these are the number of people we could touch upon through our social media messages. And I'm not yet adding the viewerships that we got on our videos and the WhatsApp messages, because WhatsApps you can't quantify. So 75 million is the number that we could reach out only through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Additionally, WhatsApp is working. Our videos are being seen by thousands of people now daily. So that is what we could do till now. Additionally, a lot of people from the social circles, like the bureaucrats, the politicians, the social activists, they reached out to us, and they posted their own video messages, their own tweets on the social media. We could reach out to some other celebrities from different ways of life, like Dr. Amit has been the instrumental person in reaching out to those people, and through them again we have been able to reach out to their fan following. So these are all the activities that we have done till now in nutshell. We can further elaborate on those things maybe once Amit speaks about the future plans. Dr. Reddy, you're muted. You're muted.
Thank you, Dr. Rakesh, for enumerating on what we have been trying to do. The message is very clear. Please reach out to as many people as possible, to various of your acquaintances, friends, contacts, professional colleagues, maybe in different societies, wherever you can, to make sure that the message of diabetes is spread. Please make sure you test for diabetes. If you have diabetes, please treat well and track them. Now, before I go to Amit, I'm going to reach out to my friend Pratap, Dr. Pratap Jethwani, Professor Dr. Pratap Jethwani, to try and talk to him as to say, now these programs are there for the last 79 days. And we're doing each bit of us who are involved and being part of RSSDI and part of the doctors community, trying to reach everybody possible to a way in their own way. There are different ways of trying to do this. I want to listen to Pratap, what the state of Gujarat, as Dr. Banshi was trying to emphasize, has done to implement, involve all these district coordinators and try to do this program. After that, I will come back to Amit and say, and we go back on the 29th, where we want to do 1 million tests on that day. But before that, Dr. Pratap, what has happened the last 79 days in Gujarat, and what else we can look forward to? I know you have a lot of, not only Gujarat, your influence spreads all across India, but only trying to talk about a model from where you and Dr. Banshi come in. What exactly have you done? And we also request other states to chip in with their ideas and probably follow some of the good things which you have done. Over to you, Dr. Pratap.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay. I think in Gujarat, first of all, we have involved the entire executive committee of Gujarat chapter in contacting the respective, because we have got Gujarat is a very big state. People in south, they do not know people who are there in Kutch region. So we have got an executive committee where we have got zonal representatives from various zones of our state. So we have reached out to them and we have told them to connect with people of that area. So like somebody who is from Bhuj, he will be connecting to cities of Kutch. So they are quite far from Ahmedabad, Rajkot, from Surat. So the people from Bhuj, they will connect with other areas of that region, doctors of other areas of that region, and motivate them to go join this Defeat Diabetes campaign. And currently they are motivating them to join us in that 29th, our blood sugar detection camp that is going to create a world record. So for that purpose, we are mobilizing each and everyone from each and every district, even small town. We are trying to reach out to them and trying to make them join this campaign, trying to test more and more people about diabetes. So that is the first thing we have done. We have also reached out to district coordinators, and our district coordinators are trying to contact the local IMAs and the local general practitioners as well as the local NGOs to join them in this mission of testing more and more people about diabetes. So that what is the purpose of this Defeat Diabetes campaign, that is to reach to every citizen of our country and to make them aware that blood sugar testing is very much important and blood sugar is the fifth vital sign. So that is what is being done by our team in Gujarat. And I think still we are lagging behind because of routine work practice of all the physicians which are involved in this task, and they are not able to spare time, but they are trying their best to get involved in this program and trying to reach to each and everyone, not only healthcare professionals but paramedical also, and the local community leaders, so that we can influence more and more people.
Thank you, Dr. Pratap. That was very interesting to note. One is, if you're in a state, please take every different zone. Now, if you're a state in Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, probably Gujarat, or east of India, Calcutta, different regions and different zones represented and getting representatives from that particular place, and in turn getting the district coordinators involved. And thanks to Dr. Bansi for involving district coordinators, because that organizational level we never saw in RSSDI, and that's having a huge impact. I would just tell from my experience, last 3 months, we did a small campaign from the time we started at one of the hospitals where I practice. We volunteered and said, if you have that, if one of the relatives is got by a caregiver, please check your diabetes. Yesterday, sister gave me that before I could come to this talk. I asked her, how many did you detect new? 23 new diabetes detected out of 323 tests which we did. I think that itself goes to say that 23 new people with diabetes detected with attenders coming to a tertiary care hospital. I said, let's look at this data for another 10 months and see how many people will be diabetes. And probably that itself is an example to say these were attenders coming to a tertiary care hospital who didn't know that they had diabetes. So what we would do is, if you're checking, these are inpatients, patients admitted who have an attender with them. This was one of the things which I did. I will send the data to Amit and the colleagues. So one way of trying, if you have people with this, and then there's another outpatient data which we said, we only started testing attenders who accompany patients. That was the first step. There were a huge number of people to reach out for. And I understand, I just shared some experience. I just wanted to share it with the group. This is what, out of 323, 23 were detected to have diabetes or pre-diabetes. Now, taking this forward, Amit, the program is going on. I know you're part of this from the day one. It's in your DNA. Now, let's ask you a certain question. The two questions which I have is the FM. We reached out to different, I know social media makes the impact. Social media makes the impact for us to follow it. Till date, we didn't know the impact of social media. Thanks to COVID, the penetration has become huge. We are all able to connect, being from different places on a media platform now here, and this is for viewership for everybody in the world. Now, taking this forward, how do you look forward for the remaining? I know it's not going to hit 100 days. We have 2 tasks now as part of RSSDI to take it to another level. 1 million, I say it's going to be accomplished, no doubt. We're going to make this world record on the day of 29 September. I know I don't know how many of them are registered. You know, at the first day I've registered. I just want to know, we sent it out to everybody, how many clinics have registered to do this program, first. Second, what is our impact on the FM radio program which we have? We have, I know you've been reaching out to every state across, apart from the social media, the radio, and I think I'll come back to Dr. Bansi on the advocacy part later. So over to you, Amit.
थैंक यू संजय रेड्डी सर. आपने बहुत अच्छे से एक एग्जांपल अपने खुद सेटअप का, अपने हॉस्पिटल का बताया कि अपॉर्चुनिस्टिक स्क्रीनिंग से बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे थे जिनको डायबिटीज नहीं है एंड यू वर एबल टू पिक अप. सो दिस कैंपेन 1 day 1 million blood sugar testing and one nation is a gift given to the society by RSSDI and led by our president Dr. Banshi Saboo, and it has not happened in a day. Actually, he was envisioned it a lot before, and he structured the RSSDI properly in a way that every district now has a coordinator, and he is reaching out to talukas as well, which he will be talking more about. So structuring again plays a very important role when you need to pass the message down to the at the grassroots level. Second important thing is that what has happened is that he created the social media platform almost a year before. Now we realize that how important it is. If it is launched a new thing, you just launch, it takes time to build up. We already had a presence of almost 1 year at every platform like Twitter, Insta, and Facebook, YouTube. So it really helped us in building a rapport with our audience. And it was something which was not new to the RSSDI members and all the RSSDI past presidents, patrons, executive council members, because they have all experienced this RSSDI Diabetes Bytes over last 1 year. Now coming to this campaign on 29th, so there are two key components. On 29th of September, though our tagline is that one nation, one day, 1 million blood sugar tests, but we need to read the real message which is hidden behind this testing. The real message is that the number one, RSSDI wants to activate maximum of its doctors who are members of the RSSDI for the purpose of patient education, and they want them to, RSSDI wants to sensitize that we need to give back to the society by means of conducting camps, educating them, and identifying those who are not detected with diabetes yet. Second important thing is that we want to sensitize the general public that there is a very important role of test, track, and treat. So diabetes is something which cannot be just detected by examining a patient. You need to do a test. Unless until we do a test, we cannot tell that what is your blood sugar level. So it is very, very important that we test our blood sugar level. And if we are at high risk, if our age is increasing, if we are having our weight, our family members are having diabetes, somebody has experienced diabetes around us, and we know that we can be one of those patients, but we simply shy away. We don't test ourselves. We will bring in the patient, but we won't test ourselves. So we want to convey this message that please test yourself. And if you are already having diabetes, then don't shy away from tracking your diabetes, because knowing the status again is not going to help you unless and until you get it tracked and treated by the doctors and by whatever means. So one of the campaign which we are taking is the FM campaign, and FM campaign has already gone live in 4 cities. These 4 cities are Chennai, Delhi, Ahmedabad, and the Jodhpur. And now again for the next, there are another 30 cities in which the FM campaign is going to be live for a week. And during this FM campaign, many doctors, they are telling the patients that what are the ways that what are the steps they should take to take care of their diabetes. Why is it important to test? Why is it important to track? Why is it important to treat? So they are going to talk about this, and I am sure FM is a very, very good media, and there are millions of listeners of the FM channels, and all the big cities, because the presence of the FM is limited to the big cities. So this is one way where we can reach out to these all the people in masses. So this is one thing which is going to happen on 29th.
Thank you, Amit. That was nice of you to to elaborate that what is in store on the 29th. I request all of you watching, please. It doesn't matter where you are, what practice, what type of practice you have. You have a GP practice, you have a specialty practice, you work in a corporate setup. Try to do something on the 29th. Please test as many as possible. It's not 1 million. We would appreciate if it is 10 million and more than that. I would hope and pray that all of you are listening. Please make sure that this is going to be something where the world is going to talk about and tell us, yes, we need to test. We need to talk about it more openly. Come back and tell, I'm a person with diabetes. I'm not going to become a patient. I'm not going to be affected with any complication. Taking this further, I have a small question for Dr. Banshi. I think Amit and both Rakesh have. Please go ahead, Amit.
Well, I just want to add one message here that though we are trying to reach 1 million and we will definitely reach it, but the message for our fellow doctors is that please get involved in the activity. Even if you do 5 tests, 10 tests, it doesn't matter. The number is not important. Your participation is very, very important, and it is a campaign of RSSDI. So everyone who is a member of RSSDI, practices diabetes, must not leave this chance of not participating. So it is not the number which we are looking for, from you. It is just your participation. Even 5 tests, 10 tests from your center on that day, and you simply put it on the app which we will provide you. It will make a big difference in coming years to the lives of the people living with diabetes.
Rakesh, you want to make something?
Yeah. So I just, something came in my mind when we were talking about the number of newly diagnosed diabetics that you picked up in a day. And
not in a day, in the last 79 days. Not in a day.
No, okay, 20 patients, okay. Anyways, the thing is that on that number, we were smiling. You, me, and Amit, and we all smiling.
No, we were not smiling.
I was just wondering whether the people would think that we are happy because they are getting diabetes. So I just wanted to
No.
clarify on that. We are not happy because people are getting diabetes. We are happy because we are able to diagnose them. Otherwise also you are diabetic, but you are not detected yet. So the reason for our smile is that now I have picked up the patient. Now he is no more undiagnosed. Now he will not go untreated. Now he will not have those complications and he will not have those mortality and those things. So I think because मैं हिंदी में बोलता हूँ क्योंकि आम जनता को ये पता होना जरूरी है कि डायबिटीज का पता लगने से हमें खुशी नहीं हो रही है। खुशी इस बात की हो रही है कि जो पता नहीं था वो पता लग गया। डायबिटीज तो आपको है ही, आपको डायबिटीज है लेकिन आपने जांच नहीं करी, और इसकी जांच इतनी आसान है। कई बार पेशेंट्स ये कहते हैं कि डॉक्टर बहुत अच्छे हैं, उनका डायग्नोसिस अच्छा है। फॉर्चुनेटली डायबिटीज एक ऐसी बीमारी है जिसका डायग्नोसिस बहुत ही आसान है। केवल 10-15 रुपए की एक जांच होती है और आप पता कर सकते हो आपको डायबिटीज है या नहीं है। अनफॉर्चुनेटली पेशेंट्स को बहुत सारे लक्षण होते हैं, बट दे डोंट अप्रिशिएट इट। वजन कम हो रहा है, थकान है, बस डॉक्टर साहब थोड़ा वजन कम हो गया, बस थोड़ी थकान लग रही थी और कुछ नहीं था। बट दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड कि ये सिम्टम्स आने के बाद में डायबिटीज है या नहीं पता करने में कोई तकलीफ ही नहीं है। इट जस्ट टेक्स अ मिनट and 10-20 rupees and you can be sure whether diabetic or not. If you diagnose diabetes early, then I'm sure most of people know that benefits कितने हैं उसके। जो complications होने वाले हैं undiagnosed diabetic patients के अंदर, जब वो पहली बार एडमिट होते हैं और वहाँ डायबिटीज पता लगता है, तो उससे जो रिस्क होती है लाइफ को, मॉर्बिडिटी और मोर्टेलिटी बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, बहुत महंगी होती है। सो आई जस्ट वांट टू क्लैरिफाई ऑन दैट पार्ट, वन थिंग। एंड सेकंड, वन मोर थिंग आई वुड लाइक टू ऐड, ये जो 1 डे 1 मिलियन 1 नेशन हम कैंप कर रहे हैं, इसका पर्पस केवल ये नहीं है कि हमें जांचें करनी है बहुत सारी। द थिंग इज दैट इट्स अ इवेंट, लाइक डॉक्टर बंशी सेड, this campaign should not end after 10 days. So we should we should try to make it a people's movement. After 100 days ये एक जन आंदोलन बनना चाहिए, जैसा मोदी जी अपने भाषण में कहते हैं कि स्वदेशी या फिर स्वच्छता जन आंदोलन बनना चाहिए। Like now you know that people are so aware about cleanliness कि साफ सफाई अब लोगों की रगों में बस गई है, अब लोग गंदगी नहीं करते हैं। वो अगर हम कर पाए, यदि हम इस कैंपेन के द्वारा एक लोगों में इतनी जन जागृति ला पाए कि इसको लोग ही आगे लेके बढ़ाए और लोग खुद ही शुगर चेक करना चालू कर दें, तो दैट विल बी बिग सक्सेस फॉर अस। एंड जैसे योगा की अवेयरनेस के लिए योगा डे होता है, उस दिन योगा करने से, एक दिन योगा करने से आपकी बीमारियां खत्म नहीं होती है, बट दैट क्रिएट्स द अवेयरनेस एट मास लेवल. It gets the attention from media, national, international media, and people get to know about it. So that is what I wanted to add.
Thank you, Rakesh. The smile on my face was not because we detected diabetes.
Not only you, sir.
No. Let me put another point. The smile on our faces was to smile at Banshi and said he instigated us to do this. Okay, I was smiling at Dr. Banshi and all the team which put this program together. Meaning to say, we all know the benefits of early detection of diabetes. So I will now ask my friend Dr. Pratap जी से मैं ये प्रश्न पूछना चाहता हूँ कि बताइए, डायबिटीज अगर आपको रेगुलर डायबिटीज नहीं है मगर रेगुलर टेस्ट करके आपको डायबिटीज पहले मालूम पड़ जाए तो उसका फायदा क्या है?
थैंक यू डॉक्टर संजय। आई थिंक ये बहुत ज़रूरी है। जैसे डॉक्टर बंसी साबू के नेतृत्व में आरएसएसडीआई ने ये अभियान चालू किया है। उन्होंने ये बताया है कि ब्लड शुगर वो 5th वाइटल साइन है। जैसे आप घर पे अपना टेम्परेचर लेते हैं, पल्स लेते हैं, बीपी लेते हैं, किसी भी डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं वो ये 3 चीज़ें देखता है, वैसे उसी डॉक्टर को हर एक मरीज का शुगर जांच करना भी जरूरी है, क्योंकि ये 5th वाइटल साइन है। ये आपके बॉडी के मेटाबॉलिक हेल्थ के बारे में बहुत सारी इंफॉर्मेशन देती है। खाली शुगर ही नहीं, आपका ओवरऑल दूसरी कई बीमारियों का रिस्क कितना है वो भी इससे पता चलता है। और अगर आप ये शुगर आपकी ज़्यादा है ये आपको पता चले और अगर आप दूसरी भी जांच कराएं उसके बेसिस के ऊपर, तो आपको पता चलता है कि आपकी मेटाबॉलिक हेल्थ अच्छी है या खराब है, और उसके बेसिस के ऊपर आपको डायबिटीज के सिवाय दूसरे जो रोग है, जैसे ब्लड प्रेशर है, कोलेस्ट्रॉल की बीमारी है, हार्ट का प्रॉब्लम है, लीवर का प्रॉब्लम है, लीवर में फैट बढ़ने का प्रॉब्लम, ये सब बीमारी का जोखिम क्या है वो भी पता चल सकता है। दूसरी अच्छी चीज ये है कि अगर आपको डायबिटीज बहुत ही जल्दी शुरुआत के जब ही शुरू हो रहा है तभी आप उसका निदान करते हैं, तो आप खान पीन के परहेज से और अच्छी तरह से व्यायाम करके अपने बॉडी का वेट नियंत्रित करके उसको दवाइयों के बगैर भी काबू कर सकते हैं और उसको नॉर्मल रख सकते हैं। ये एक बहुत अच्छा एडवांटेज है। और ये वेट नियंत्रण करने के कारण आप शुगर ही कंट्रोल नहीं करते हैं, पर शुगर के साथ रिलेटेड जो दूसरी सब बीमारियां जैसे मैंने आपको बताई, ब्लड प्रेशर, हार्ट का प्रॉब्लम, ये सब होने का जोखिम भी बहुत कम कर देते हैं। तो इसको जल्दी डायग्नोस करना खाली शुगर के लिए नहीं, बट आपका ओवरऑल रिस्क सब बीमारियों का क्या है वो जानने के लिए भी जरूरी है। और दूसरा, उसको जल्दी अगर आप डायग्नोस करते हैं तो अच्छी ट्रीटमेंट से आप उसको बिल्कुल कंट्रोल में रख के लंबी लाइफ विदाउट कॉम्प्लिकेशंस एक आम आदमी की तरह आप अपनी जिंदगी जी सकते हैं। एक बार ये बीमारी में अगर कॉम्प्लिकेशन शुरू हो जाए तो उसके बाद उसको कंट्रोल करने से भी हम उस कॉम्प्लिकेशंस को मिटा नहीं सकते हैं। ये ऐसी चीज है कि आप एक अपना शर्ट पहने हुए हैं, वो शर्ट में अगर एक जगह पे भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है तो आप उसको थिगड़ा लगा के वहां पे रफू करके उसको चला सकते हैं, बट उसको नया नहीं बना सकते। ऐसे ही डायबिटीज में अगर एक बार कॉम्प्लिकेशन हो जाती है, अगर आपका कोई एक ऑर्गन बिगड़ना शुरू हो जाता है तो देन इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट कि उस ऑर्गन को वापस नॉर्मल करे। तो यही उसका ट्रीटमेंट है कि उसको जल्दी जांच करे, उसका जल्दी निदान करे, उसको बिल्कुल कंट्रोल करे ताकि आपके बॉडी के अंदर जो नुकसान होना है वो नुकसान हो ही ना पाए और आप अपने लंबी जिंदगी विदाउट एनी कॉम्प्लिकेशंस जी सकें।
Thank you, Dr. Pratap, for getting the smile back on our faces. Just to say that if you diagnose diabetes early, what you're going to do is you have a chance that if you repeatedly check, even when you're normal, and one, if you don't have diabetes, it puts you on a pedestal to say that I don't want to get diabetes. Let me do all possible things, keep my weight in control, exercise a little more, eat a little less, probably keep an ideal weight, and retard the progress of diabetes. One, when you test. Second, if you test and if you're detected to have diabetes, you're detecting it early before he comes back to you. So what it does, it motivates you that even with small doses of medicine or no medicine, but with change in lifestyle, you can retard taking medicines for some time, a longer time, with change in your lifestyle. It gives you a knock on your head to look at all the other organs in your body that they're not going to be damaged. We know diabetes damages many things: eyes, heart, kidney, and your nerves. The idea is you diagnose early, it's going to have a lot of effect. That is the reason why the campaign Test, Treat, and Track Diabetes is designed by us. Now, to take it further, I have Dr. Banshi. I'm going to pick his brain for another thing. Now, how do we take it on to people should hear us? I think they're already hearing. I want to know, when are we going to get an ad on the TV saying, like, stop smoking, check for diabetes. Check if you have diabetes. When do you check? अरे अब दूरदर्शन पे ऐड आ जाएगा, अरे diabetes. This has been my dream. And
so Sanjay, this is the dream of every doctor who is practicing diabetes in our country. We want to make people aware. As Rakesh was talking, that it should become a Jan Andolan. It should become a part of routine system. Now we are not talking to our IMA doctor or any primary healthcare professional in our country to check for blood pressure, for checking the respiratory rate or the temperature. The similar way, a sugar monitoring should become a part of routine checkup and it should become a part of monitoring system. हमने एक इस कैंपेन के साथ में एक बात जो नहीं की, और उसके लिए राकेश को मैं खास धन्यवाद करूंगा, बिकॉज वी हैड क्रिएटेड ए everyone should sign for a petition, that fifth vital sign, and the sugar monitoring is very important. Thousands of doctors have done, but still that petition we are continuing. And on this 29th of this month, when we are going to launch, when we are going to do the 1 million testing, उसके एक दिन पहले हम उसका एक बड़ा सा प्रोग्राम कर रहे हैं. उसमें वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड पब्लिक हेल्थ फाउंडेशन ऑफ इंडिया दोनों के हेड को बुला रहे हैं. एंड वी आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट दिस जो कैंपेन हमने किया है और ये जो पिटीशन है, we are also going to write to the International Diabetic Federation. This is petitions from the doctors as well as from the patient side. We have already written a scientific paper on that, how sugar monitoring is important, and that paper is not written by me or some of us from India only. Even the Americans and even the Europeans have also written that, you know about it. So the point is कि ये जो बात है वो इंटरनेशनल चीज तक, like वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और इंटरनेशनल डायबिटिक फेडरेशन, दे शुड आल्सो टॉक अबाउट इट. एंड वी विश के संजय, जो आपने कहा कि शुगर मॉनिटरिंग इज सो इम्पोर्टेंट दैट इट शुड बिकम ए पार्ट ऑफ न्यूज एंड नेशनल चैनल के ऊपर आना चाहिए कि आपने अपना शुगर चेक किया कि नहीं. द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया शुड राइट इट अबाउट दैट. द स्टॉप स्मोकिंग टाइप का एड आता है, उसी टाइप के अंदर आपने अपना शुगर चेक किया क्या. लेकिन हम उस कैंपेन को, ड्यूरिंग दिस कैंपेन, अभी जो आपने यहाँ तक देखा रेडियो कैंपेन का, नाउ इट इज कमिंग इन द नेक्स्ट इज इन ए पेपर मीडिया. सो न्यूज में भी हम इसको प्लान कर रहे हैं, एंड देन इट इज ऑल्सो गोइंग टू कम ऑन ए टीवी मीडिया. सो नाउ आफ्टर दिस 10 days of this campaign, after 25th और 28th, I am planning from 30th से लेके 8 तारीख तक के बीच के अंदर you will find in newspaper, in the media, on a print media as well as on digital media and TV, that is very important media. NDTV पर आपने देखा होगा कि हमने 7 दिवस के लिए RSSDI ने कैंपेन किया था regarding type 1 awareness. That was part of it. We have done 10 days campaign on Facebook Live and 10 days campaign हमने टीवी के ऊपर किया था. और उसके अंदर कैंपेन के अंदर हमने all senior diabetologists across the country, we invited them and we just talked about that. You know, अभी इस समय में 21वीं शताब्दी में 100 साल के इंसुलिन डिस्कवरी के बाद में भी हिंदुस्तान में लोग ऐसे बात करते हैं कि आपका टाइप 1 डायबिटीज क्योर हो जाएगा. और ऐसे पेशेंट्स हमारे पास आते हैं, उनको कुछ लोगों ने ऐसे बता दिया जाता है और उस मिथ के कारण दे स्टॉप द इंसुलिन, दे गेट इट डिटेक्टेड विद डायबिटिक कीटोसिरोसिस एंड दे डाई आल्सो. सो आई मीन दिस टाइप ऑफ थिंग हैपेंस इन 2021 आफ्टर 100 years ऑफ इंसुलिन डिस्कवरी. तो डायबिटीज के बारे में और बात करने के लिए डिजिटल एज वेल एज प्रिंट मीडिया के अंदर फ्रॉम 1 से लेके 10 तारीख तक के बीच के अंदर हमने और कैंपेन को थर्ड फेज के अंदर, when the last part of it we are going to have it, and what we have achieved in last 70-80 days is already we try to reach out to 100 million. So I mean that TV and radio को बिना ही हम 100 million पहुंच रहे हैं only through the social media, and 1 million लोगों का हम शुगर टेस्टिंग कर पा रहे हैं on 29th, and probably as you are saying rightly कि we will cross this number. We are not going to have only 1 million. When जब राकेश और अमित और हम लोग बैठ के बात कर रहे थे, जब पहले सबसे पहले हम 100 days में 100 million बताया और सोचा तो सबको लगा कि बहुत ज्यादा आंकड़ा है, लेकिन then we could do it. And then when we had planned it that how we are going to do for 1 million testing on one particular day, it was a Rakesh idea that we should do something on one particular day. Let us try to create a world record, and now it is coming true. I mean 1 million persons we are going to have. अभी से हमारे को एडवांस में इतना कॉन्फिडेंस है कि हमारा होने ही वाला है. हमने ऑलरेडी वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड से हो गया और 8 तारीख को हमने उसको दिल्ली के अंदर हमारा सर्टिफिकेट लेने के लिए हमारी टिकट्स बन गई. सो इट्स लाइक दैट, यू नो, वी आर सो मच श्योर दैट वी आर गोइंग टू अचीव इट 1 million, and not 1 million, we are probably going to do more. Now here is that we want to involve more and more doctors. As Pratap was talking that in Gujarat, almost all coordinators and everybody is doing. And the similar way, now I am requesting all RSSDI member, all district coordinators of our RSSDI, and all executive committee member of not only the national RSSDI, state RSSDI executive members, if they all join, we want that everyone join, you know. ये important ये नहीं है कि संजय रेड्डी ने 200 टेस्ट किए उस दिन. संजय रेड्डी ज्वाइन हुआ, that is more important. On that day, whether you are doing 20, whether you are doing 200, whether you are educating your 100 patient, that is not important. You are educating, you are doing testing, that is more important. So I want 5,000, 10,000 doctors from IMA and RSSDI doctors. They should join this campaign, and then they will feel that it's your ownership. आपने ये प्रोग्राम किया, आपने ये वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड हासिल किया, आपको वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड का सर्टिफिकेट मिला जो आप अपने क्लिनिक पर लगाएंगे. RSSDI is going to give you the appreciation certificate as well as participation certificate. वो बहुत जरूरी है हमारे को. वो इम्पोर्टेंट है कि इतने लोग इस प्रोग्राम के अंदर ज्वाइन हुए, इस कैंपेन के अंदर ज्वाइन हुए और इस कैंपेन को एक सक्सेसफुल कैंपेन बनाया. और राकेश की बात को मैं फिर दोहराना चाहूंगा कि ये 3 महीने के बाद में ये एक जन आंदोलन बने, जैसे स्वच्छता भारत का आंदोलन बना, इसी टाइप के अंदर डायबिटीज को हम कैसे डिफीट कर सके, हम डायबिटीज को कैसे कंट्रोल में ला सकें, हम हमारे देश में लोगों को डायबिटीज के लिए कैसे रोक सकें, या जिनको डायबिटीज हो गई है उनको कॉम्प्लिकेशन से कैसे रोकें, ये हमारा आंदोलन होना चाहिए। तो इस कैंपेन का जो पूरा मूल जो बात है वो ये है कि लोगों को ज्यादा से ज्यादा अवेयर किया जाए। And I'm sure this social media is really having a power which we could identify in this COVID time. And I feel in last 1.5 years we have really worked hard. हम लोग मिल नहीं पाए आपस में, लेकिन हमने ऑनलाइन ऑलमोस्ट एवरी डे, दिन में 3 बार 4 बार हम मिले हैं, आपस में फेस टू फेस बात की है। और पिछले 1.5 साल से संजय आपने देखा है कि हर दिन हम बात कर रहे हैं। कोई ना
Dr. Banshi, I just want to tell, please have a passion as Dr. Banshi, 10% of what you're listening to him. Just have that small passion. Please make sure that you take it to your mind and your heart and do this for you, for the country, for the people around you, and for the society at large. Yes, we all are practicing doctors. Please take this passion along. This is not for for a personal gain. This is for the good of the society. Like hygiene, like education, like immunization, like maternal health, I think this is the next thing which we need to take about. Chronic disease, which for a long time is not being thought about. This is what is going to affect the country the next 30 years more than anything else. Please wake up. If you have not participated, take this 10% passion. Say, this is what I want to do for my country, for myself, and the society around you. Don't ask what, just like somebody said, don't ask what the country did for you or what the society did for you. What you did for the society is what matters. What you did for the country is what matters. I would say, take it as a proud feeling, and say, what am I going to do for this country today? What you're going to do is, please, as a doctor, and if you are not treating diabetes patient, doesn't matter, check. And tomorrow, we want all of you to check those who don't have diabetes to find out if they have diabetes. Second, treat them and track them. And this is the message which the president of RSSDI, with his passionate talk, is trying to give to all of us. Please have the passion, just 10% of it. Let me do what I can do for my country. Ask yourself. I don't think you need much better than that. Doesn't matter which state you belong. Doesn't matter which religion you belong. Doesn't matter which part of the world, which part of the corner of this country you belong, or probably maybe tomorrow global phenomena. We don't know. But this is what we have started, and I would like every one of you to contribute to the same. That's the message from the president of RSSDI, Dr. Banshi, and the team. We all work together, so I want you to reiterate the fact. Thank you, Dr. Banshi, for giving that passionate enough message to all of them that they have to. Amit has something to add. Go ahead, Amit.
Sir, it is very, very important to mention at that point that Dr. Banshi is so humble and down to earth that he will easily pass all the credit to his team members. And but let me tell you, that amount of work he puts in, a single call goes unanswered, never a single WhatsApp message goes unanswered. You talk to him anytime, he may be busy with multiple works, but he has given his, I think, more than 200% for this campaign. That is why we are standing here today, because a lot of decisions has to be taken in a day, a lot of things has to be done in a day, and not a single message. You see, if the WhatsApp chat with the group, outside the group, call number, I must have disturbed him almost 300 times in last 15 days, but everything has been answered by him. So really, sir, we salute you, and it is we are fortunate enough to work with your guidance.
Thank you, Amit.
Thank you, Banshi, and that I reiterate the fact.
Yes, Rakesh wants to make
Rakesh as a statement. I reiterate the fact what Amit is telling, but that's the truth. Over to Rakesh.
Yeah, just wanted to add a few things. हमारा एक वेबसाइट है defeatdiabetes.online for the general public, और defeat diabetes नाम से एक ऐप भी है, वो ऐप गूगल प्ले स्टोर पर अवेलेबल है. So any general public, anybody can download that app. They can go to the website और वहाँ पर डायबिटीज़ के बारे में बहुत सारी जानकारी है, बहुत सारे वीडियोज़ है, बहुत सारी जानकारी डायबिटीज़ से कैसे बचा जाए, क्या खाया जाए, वो सब चीज़ें उसमें लिखी हुई है। सेकंड, जैसा बंसी सर ने कहा कि 29th का जो हमारा कैंप है उसमें भी हमारा प्रयास हुआ कि हम इसको एक पब्लिक को इन्वॉल्व करें। तो नॉट नेसेसरी कि एवरीबडी शुड कम फॉर द कैंप एट दिस साइट. Even people who are doing who can do their blood sugar at their home with their own glucometer can enter the reading on that particular day to contribute in the camp, and that also link is available on the Defeat Diabetes app as well as defeatdiabetes.online, that is the website. And just the last line, Dr. Sanjay Reddy, you said ki, it should come on the media, in the print media or in the electronic media. Now see, I personally feel that actually diabetes kills more people than smoking kills, if you look at the numbers and find out those numbers. Unfortunately, we don't have money to spend on TV ads. The government has to do that. So let us do our best to convince government, to convince them that the diabetes is equally important and people should talk about diabetes, and government should spend some money on the electronic media for creating awareness about diabetes as well.
Okay.
Rakesh boss, sir, I just wanted to say that just now I got this idea that when we are going to test the people, we will also encourage them to sign our petition also.
Yeah.
So again, this will help us, and we can mostly you can note that down. We can put it in the app also, registration app, that everybody should have at least a chance to go and visit the change.org and see what petition is there. So this also, will definitely yes. Please go ahead, sir.
Just one line more, Dr. Sanjay, if you allow me. People would ask, sugar check. Who should check the sugar? People would ask, should I check my sugar or not? So see, I don't have any data to confirm the lines that I'm going to say now, but I would say that if you are above 40, check your sugar. At least if you are above 40, and Indian above 40 is at risk. If you have a family history of diabetes, then even 10 years younger. And in addition to that, if you have central obesity, I would say that you start screening at the age of 20 itself. So 10 years you should come, cut down for a family history or central obesity, and 20 years if you have both. Now central obesity, there is a simple formula आम आदमी के लिए. अगर आपकी कमर की साइज आपके हाइट से आधे से ज्यादा है तो आप सेंट्रली ओबेस है और आपको शुगर चेक करना चाहिए.
Thank you, Rakesh. That's a very good statement. Please check, and who should check? It's very well said. Anybody 20, obese, 30 with family history, 40 if you don't have anything, whatever is your weight. And if you have hypertension, dyslipidemia, thyroid disorders, menstrual disorders, I think it applies to almost any population. About 20 who are overweight, physically inactive, in a normal city, it would apply to for 50% of them. I think we would say to take this statement generalized. And now over to Amit. I have a question for you. Now, we did register a lot of clinics. Now, I just wanted to encourage people to register more for testing on the 29th. How many clinics as far from the app have registered, or how many doctors have registered for the program? Any idea, so that we can say that we have more numbers, or we can request more people. We always request, but I just want to know, just for the public to know, that we have so many clinics registered for the 29th program, that 1 million is not a problem when we're looking at more.
Sir, we just released the app almost 3 days back, 3 to 4 days, and by now almost more than 600 doctors have registered on the app. And if we talk about the sites, we have more than 1,000 sites which are available to us, which are created by the doctors for the testing of the sites. I think it is a very, very good number, and we believe that the number is likely to increase in the next 2 to 3 days, and we will be able to achieve our targets.
Okay. So, now, if the humble request for everybody is, those who are listening to the program, doctors, doesn't matter, RSSDI members, but we have 9,000 RSSDI members. We have 1,000 registrations. We would like 9,000 registrations and more number of people to come in. So please register on the website for the 29th program. Let us make it double the number. I understand we have 1 million, but I think we can test more than this. My humble request for all of you, that is why I wanted the number, Amit. For all of you, we reiterate the fact there are there are, I know there would be issues in connectivity and other things. Dr. Pratap has connectivity issues. Okay, Dr. Pratap, we excuse you on that. But please register. And can you tell me the website? I'll ask Amit to again openly write on the website, on the chat, which is the website they can register. You all have registered, but we would want more people to register. Over to you, Amit.
Sir, the website is very simple. It is defeatdiabetes.online, and anybody can visit that website, and they can find the registration link. And one more, sir, very interesting information I would like to share, that Rotary has partnered with the RSSDI, and they are doing amazing work. Just today, we got the information that almost more than 2,000 sites they have registered for their camp, and these 2,000 sites. They have almost reached the capacity of 4 lakh of testing. So
okay, thank you, Rotary, for partnering with us for the good of the society. But that's a very nice number. Now I ask doctors, why 1,000? We should have 10,000. Over to all of you, doctors listening, and probably who are going to listen or who are going to be bombarded with that. Please register for the 29th. We're on a program to defeat diabetes. We're coming to the end of the program. Now, I would take this opportunity to thank Dr. Rakesh, Dr. Amit Gupta, Dr. Pratap Jethwani, and Dr. Banshi Saboo. Before I close with the closing remarks, I would like to hear the closing remarks from Dr. Banshi. Just a couple of lines, one statement or a couple of lines, and then we close it.
First of all, thanks, Sanjay. The closing line is test, test, and test. That is the most important thing which we are forgetting. As Rakesh was talking, who should be tested? He had already defined those persons who are having the abdominal girth more than 50% of their height. They should be tested. Early testing have advantage. We have already discussed about all these things. Early and aggressive management of diabetes is going to reduce the complication. And we just want to make our country a diabetes care capital of the world and a complication-free in our country. So that our diabetic patients should not develop complication in their future. That is our goal, our motto. RSSDI is an organization primarily based for the research. Indian research should come out, but at the same time, we have our social responsibility, and we want to make people aware about the diabetes, and we want to prevent the diabetes in our country. With these words, once again, thank you, Sanjay, and thanks RSSDI Social Media Bytes and all those listeners who are regularly listening us and those who are following us. And please sign for RSSDI page on social media, on our Facebook, as well as on Defeat Diabetes also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Banshi. That was very nice. We missed Dr. Purvi Chawla, who's very active on trying to put this Diabetes Bytes program. I miss her today. She was instrumental in getting all of us together. Thank you, Dr. Amit Gupta. Thank you, Dr. Pratap Jethwani, Dr. Rakesh Parikh, and Dr. Banshi Saboo. But the mission remains. 29th September, guys, don't forget, Defeat Diabetes, to test the maximum number of people. That's not the end of it. 29th is the start, I would say, and we keep on continuing. Thank you very much. Thank you all for joining. Hope to see you next Thursday, 7:30 to 8:30 on Diabetes Bytes. Please join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.